The first one was from Sweden, and it was from Christiana, and she said, "I've been trying to rid myself of the idea of an idealistic relationship, but I seem to face criticism at every turn. Help."
And then why don't you read the other two, because I think they kind of complemented each
Yeah,
other.
they kind of run through. So the second one was from Massachusetts, and Lydia asked, "My relationship started amazing, but has been building up all of this crap, and I want to start over, but is that really possible?" And the third one was from Leon, and Jennifer asked, "How do I stop instantly going to the breakup option in my relationship when something goes wrong?"
Great. So I think when Marcel read these to me before the Google Hangout, what struck me is they all have to do with an ideal relationship, an ideal breakup, an ideal way of being. What if there was no such thing? It's kind of like, what have you bought into this reality that says a relationship is, that truly isn't? That if you didn't buy it as true or real, would actually give you the kind of relationship you've been asking for. Whew. Okay. Everything, Tammy's like, everything that I'm doing on Create and Destroy That, please. Yeah.
Yes.
Good and bad, right and wrong, POD and POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyond. I don't know why I'm doing so much clearing on this Google. It just seems to be required. Maybe it's for me. So yeah, the thing is, you know, there is no ideal. There's no such thing. It's one of the things that we've been sold in this reality that says you have to have a form, you have to have a structure to a relationship. And how much do we imprison ourselves in the ideal? So that ideal is by its own definition, it's unattainable. Like if I was going to stop the Google Hangout, I'd go and get a dictionary to look up what ideal is. It's the unattainable. There's no such thing. So we're constantly running towards something that's not even there, or running backwards to something that we've decided was ideal in someone else's relationship. So it's the same thing when you say, well, we have a breakup or we don't. What if you could actually be present in your relationship and ask what's required? And maybe it's it was fun while it was, and it doesn't work anymore. Maybe there's nothing more that you're learning from each other. Maybe it has had its time. You know, we have a point of view that there's one relationship for all mankind. Well, you know, just because you say till death do you part doesn't mean that you have to kill yourself over the relationship. It's about the willingness to be present and have it show up the way that it's asking to be. Recently, I was listening to Dr. Claudia Cano on an interview, and she was saying that, you know, she's been married, I think, 18 years, and that before these tools, she thought, you know, especially in her culture, that they had to be together all the time. And what she learned in asking questions in, does this work for you? What doesn't work for you? What works for me? That they actually see each other maybe, you know, 12 or 15 days a year, and it actually works for them. It's a kind of marriage that works for them. So for some other people, they might say, well, that's not my ideal of marriage or my ideal of a relationship. It's really being gut honest with yourself and seeing what works for you. Like truth, do you want to be 100% of your time with somebody else? Right? What is it that you're asking for in a relationship? And everywhere you're not willing to give yourself that. See, we often look ideally to someone in a relationship to complete us, to do for us, to give to us, to support us. Well, really, what is it that you're asking for that you're not willing to give yourself? And what if by that person just being present is the contribution and not the limitation? Yeah, and there's also a point there about breakup. What if you could actually be willing to not hold on to anything, so there's no breaking up. Yeah, when you think of breaking something, you're destroying it. Like you take a plate, you break it, you're destroying it. Well, you know, everywhere you've bought into that you actually have to destroy and limit you or someone else in order to choose for you, would you be willing to uncreate and destroy that? Good and bad, right and wrong, POD and POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Yeah. Cool. How's that?